Whoa, okay, so Apple just dropped something huge that could completely change the game for creators. If you want to stay on top of all things brand and tech, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button for @BrandTechOff down below. All right, so Apple has just bundled their most powerful pro software into something they're calling the Creator Studio. Let's dig in and see what this actually means for you.
And this really brings up the big question, right? Are Apple's best creative tools finally within reach for everybody? Is this the moment? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. Okay, so here's the plan. We'll start with the creator's dilemma, the problem they're trying to solve. Then we'll look at Apple's new all-in-one studio. After that, we're going to break down the price, which is key. We'll ask, is this bundle actually for you? And finally, we'll touch on what this could mean for the future. Let's get to it. All right, so first up, the creator's dilemma. To really get what Apple's doing here, you gotta understand the problem they're trying to fix. For years, if you were a new creator on a Mac, you hit a pretty big wall. I mean, just look at the old way of doing things. You wanted to get serious about video editing? Boom, Final Cut Pro. That's $300 right out of your pocket. You wanted to make professional sounding music or podcasts? Bam, Logic Pro, another $200. We're talking a $500 hole in your wallet before you've even made a single thing. That is a huge barrier to entry. And that brings us to Section 2, Apple's all-in-one studio. This is their answer to that exact $500 problem. Instead of these massive one-time costs, they're offering a single subscription. It's called the Apple Creator Studio. And the idea is, refreshingly simple. They're just taking a whole bunch of their pro-level creative tools for both the iPad and the Mac and rolling them all into one monthly price. So no more saving up for months just to get started. So what do you actually get? Well, on the iPad, you get the big guns, right? Final Cut Pro for all your video needs, Logic Pro for your audio, but, and this is the really interesting part, the thing that made everyone's ears perk up is Pixelmator Pro. And look, this is a huge deal. People have been begging for a serious professional photo and image editor on the iPad for forever. And now it's here, but it's inside this bundle. For a lot of folks, this one app might be the main reason they'd even think about signing up. Okay, so that all sounds pretty great, but let's talk about the most important part, the money. Let's break down the price. So here it is, $12.99 a month. That's the price. For less than $13, you get the whole suite of apps on all your compatible devices. And when you put it side by side like this, wow. The difference is just, it's night and day, right? You go from needing over $500 just to get in the door on the Mac to having access to everything on Mac and iPad for about $13 a month. It's a totally different ballgame. And that's really the core pitch, isn't it? They're basically giving you the keys to a nearly $500 software library for about the same price you pay for a streaming service. Pretty compelling. Okay, so now for the big question. Is this bundle for you? Because look, a great deal for me might be a terrible deal for you. It really depends on who you are as a creator. So let's run through a few scenarios. All right, first up, the newcomer. Let's say you're just getting your feet wet. You're diving into the creative world, you don't own any of this pro software yet, but you are ready to go. Okay, if that sounds like you, then yeah, this thing is an absolute home run. It's a total boon. The value is just insane. It is without a doubt the most affordable way to jump into pro-level editing on Apple devices. And it's especially good if you're someone who works on both a Mac and an iPad. But what about the existing iPad creator? What if you're already paying Apple some money every month for some of these apps? Yeah, this is where the verdict gets a little complicated. See, on the iPad, Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro are each $4.99 a month. So if you already have both, you're paying just under $10. The new bundle is $12.99. So for you, this is actually a price hike. The big question you have to ask is, am I willing to pay $3 extra a month just to get Pixelmator Pro? All right, last group, let's talk about the established Mac Pro. You know who you are, you've been doing this for years, you've got your workflow dialed in, you're a power user. For you, this is probably a bargain to skip. And the reason is simple. Chances are you already paid that big one-time fee for Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro a long, long time ago. You own them. So why would you start paying monthly for software you already have? Unless you are absolutely desperate to get Pixelmator Pro on your iPad, this subscription just doesn't make any sense. So let's just recap real quick. If you're a newcomer, it's an amazing deal, a total boon. If you're an existing iPad subscriber, it's complicated. You got to run the numbers. And if you're a Mac professional who already owns the apps, you can pretty much just skip it. It shows this is for a very specific type of person. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. This whole Creator Studio thing, it's not just about the bundle itself. It might be a sign of things to come. What does this tell us about where Apple is heading? And there's this one quote that I think really gets to the heart of it. It hints at a pretty major shift in how Apple thinks about its software. See, here's the crazy part, and it's kind of buried deep in the details. This new bundle adds paid, exclusive features to iWork apps, Pages, Numbers, Keynote, apps that have always been free. This means for the first time ever, not everyone gets all the features. And that leaves us with a really provocative question to think about. Is this the first crack in the foundation of Apple's free software? Are we watching the beginning of the end?